Hey beauties, good afternoon to you. So beautiful people, I saw an article online, where lawyers, the criminal defense lawyers, are calling for some of these the jail cells to be shut down. The cells that are in the lockups that are in the stations, the police stations, because they're unsanitary, they're unhealthy, and a lot of people are coming out with some skin abrasions, for example. Some of the detainees, maybe when they're locked up for maybe a day or two or whatnot, and they come out because they have their lawyers to represent them and they see the condition of them. It ought to be shut down. And it is very, very sad, my beautiful Jamaican people. I know some people said if they did not do the crime, they would not do the time. We cannot run with such a broad brush situation. You have people who are like Nelson Mandela, who were accused falsely, and they end up having to go through that situation. It is a very unfair comment to make. And although, yes, we're talking about lockups where their time span there is not as long as when you go to prison, where you're imprisoned now, in an official remand place, center, or whatever it is, or a prison system. But the reality is that you face what you face, whether it's for days, weeks, months, or whatnot. And it is human beings you're dealing with. We need to have this mentality where people can be rehabilitated. You can't feel comfortable. It's still somebody's son. It's still somebody's, it's probably males, because they mentioned, for example, the Denham lockup. Miss Harris mentioned it. That it is, probably she said unsightly, but I know unsanitary. And people are coming out with these different skin abrasions. It cannot be good, because it will affect us when they eventually come out into the regular public. You see, we look at things very disjointed to say, they're there, I am here. No, eventually they will be a part of the mix. Today I was talking with my colleagues, and they were saying about a particular school that was one of the creme de la creme schools that is only the affluent, the elite went to. But now, because, everybody kind of, the world is now a metamorphosis, and it's like this amalgamation. So everybody goes there now. So it's not rated like that anymore. A particular school in the rural area. And I said, it's interesting, man, how things and times have changed. And I use that scenario, an example, to say that, it is not right. We should not treat the people them like that. They're still human beings. Look at the man who, some years ago, who had killed this pastor's son right in front of him. Years later, he was going to be executed. The pastor begged for the man. Let me go again. The pastor begged for the perpetrator who killed his son, murdered his son in front of him, the father. He saw it with his two. He did it in front of him. And the pastor said to the officials, the court officials, I will take this man. I'm going to mentor him. And today, if that guy is still living, he's a pastor today. So people can be rehabilitated, but you have to treat them accordingly. I'm not expecting them to get, a 5-star hotel situation at the prison, at the jail cells or the lockup area. We're not expecting that, but we are expecting something fair. They need to read the Nelson Mandela rules for how you deal with the prisoners, how you deal with the detainees, remandees, whatever it is. You're dealing with people. It is not good. Yes, even if some of them commit the worst, I'm saying to you that unfortunately sometimes they were forced to, I said sometimes, note my words. Some of them, because they're forced to join gangs, they're forced to do it as initiation, as part of the ritual and whatever it is. If they don't do it, their mother, father, child, everybody would be killed. And they panic and they're forced into a situation like that. And then they end up having to face the consequences of actions that technically is not so much, it was not instigated by them. And with the right intervention, divine intervention, more importantly, and even human intervention, because God give us dominion over the earth. They can be transformed and become even better human beings than some of the ones that are out here. Some of the ones that are out here would have rather take some of them guys, because they're probably more malleable, more teachable than some of the people that are out here who may not physically have committed some of these heinous crimes, but they have done heinous acts with their mouth, with their tongue. Cause others to hate and others, gossip, lie, deceitful, pretentious, Like they like you knowing that they hate you with a passion, and it's all because they don't want their names to be so-called stained and to go into the prison system, why they have not done some of the things that these people have done. They ought to be treated right. Me know some of them are gonna beat them still, and don't get me wrong, people. When they say these things, I know of a case that somebody told me of. Guy did some holy murders, and if you look, I don't know what started to happen to him, but his skin looked like when they had leprosy. Back in the day, all over, he looked horrible. Somebody was sharing a story with me. Me know say gotta beat them, but at the same time, you can't use evil to correct evil. So you can't use something that is draconian, evil, wicked, to correct evil. That is why you have the human rights. They're not so much for the capital punishment. Corporal punishment is good, beating. Bible says if you spare the rod, you will spoil the child. Basically, you'll raise monsters if they don't get a good whooping, not on the bone area to break their bones. On the we say butt, you can beat them on the butt. You notice when you slap the butt, it bounces off? Yes. Because some people can't take the feeling, but it will wear off and they won't die. They won't die. The Bible said they won't die. We know that. If that is the case, many of us, I barely could have get beaten. That's true, me did. Sickly in terms of the asthma thing and whatnot. But we get a whole heap of trouble. We still get some leaks still. And a lot of other people. And we're alive and well today. We're not damaged psychologically or mentally. Some. But they ought to be treated as humans. Jesus says, don't call yourself anything special when you say you love your own, when you love you like your wife, your husband, and your child. Because the heathens do it, the wicked people do it. Pharaoh did it. Pharaoh was a wicked man, but he loved his son. But when you can love your enemies and do good to people who have done wrong to you, that is when I know that you're somebody who is really loving. Because you can love the unlovable, as difficult as it be. We're going to use that. Treat your neighbor. Your neighbor is inclusive of those guys in the lockups. It is inclusive. I'm not saying that they mustn't be punished or scolded or reprimanded or whatever it is, but they don't have to be treated that way. Where they're coming out with skin abrasions because of the condition of the lockup. Go and read the article. I saw it. I think the name of the lawyer that was looking at it was a Michelle Harris. And she spoke about the Denhamtown lockup. I remember some time ago I read something in the Glen about one of the particular lockups out of town there. Which parish was it? I don't want to call the wrong parish. Where they said that they had to use defecate in some of these things that they should not be defecating in. Because it's only the toilet people know, but it was other things. It came out, it was very much made public. So I'm saying to you, beautiful people, we as Jamaicans, I don't know, it's like one difficulty, one tragedy, one mayhem, one social upheaval, one something that is unsanitary, not, uncleanness, some crime, violence. By God, when is it going to end? When are we going to see a plethora of just good news? Good news, the Bible, things that are good, things that are honest, things that are just, things that are of a good report. Boy, I'm tired of it, man. Oh, you're not tired of it? It's like somebody eating one type of food every day. Make sure even the veganists, so even the people who are vegans and vegetarians, they have to change up. Because they must get tired of it, just eat one set of thing every time. They have to kind of change it. I make sure I say 1 and 2 times. They might not admit it. Them broke out and go back into the regular food that the regular human beings eat. I'm just making fun there. Every kid, probably they do. They probably say, boy, me know, say, me have to break a little bit. I eat one piece of chicken, a piece of beef and pork. You think I joke? They probably do. You don't have to know if them do it. Them hide it. How the body gets tired of the same. So I'm saying to you that they ought to be treated right. They're still human beings and they can be rehabilitated. That man can be a husband tomorrow, and be the best husband for you. You think it's a joke? I'm right. There's a country, I wish I had kept that video, that they keep no one in the prison system. They rehabilitate everyone. Everyone. It's like from Saul to Paul. Saul was a terrible human being and he became one of the best human beings. Better than people who never did what Saul did. Much better in his character. Not better than as in, like you're made more special in terms of character. Let me clarify. But they ought to be treated right. I'm with that person. They ought, Guys, you know what to do. Read TikTok and YouTube and share this message.